Scripture reading this morning is from the 12th chapter of Luke. Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to give me my share of our inheritance." Jesus replied, "Friend, who has set me up as your judge or arbiter?" Then he told the crowd, "Avoid greed in all its forms. Your life isn't made more secure by what you own, even when you have more than you need." Jesus then told them a parable in these words. There was a rich farmer who had a good harvest. "What will I do?" the farmer mused. "I have no place to store my harvest. I know, I'll pull down my grain bins and build larger ones. All my grain and goods will go there. Then I'll say to myself, oh, you have blessings in reserve for many years to come. Relax, eat, drink, and be merry." But God said to that farmer, "You fool, this very night your life will be required of you. To whom will all your accumulated wealth go?" This is the way it works with people who accumulate riches for themselves, but are not rich in God. Then he said to the disciples, "That's why I tell you, don't worry about your life or what you are to eat. Don't worry about your body and what you are to wear. For life is more than food, and the body is more than clothing. Take a lesson from the ravens. They don't sow or reap. They have neither a food cellar nor a barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable are you than birds? Can any of you, for all of your worrying, add a single hour to your life? If even the smallest things are beyond your control, why worry about all the rest? Notice how the flowers grow. They neither labor nor weave. Yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was robed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass in the field, which is here today and thrown into the fire tomorrow, how much more will God look after you? You have so little faith. As for you, don't set your hearts on what you'll eat or what you'll drink. Stop worrying. All the nations of the world seek these things, yet your God well knows what you need. Set your sights on the kingdom of God, and all these other things will be given to you as well. Ancient words from our tradition for our present day consideration.
Have you ever been worried, anxious, and someone tells you, "Don't worry"? Right? What good does that do? Does that work? No. Imagine a grandmother who is raising her grandkids, about to have her electricity turned off before a cold snap, calls and says, "I'm worried." You wouldn't say, "Don't worry." Or a dad who is trying to get a stable place, income, rent, in a nice place for him and his teenage son after tragic loss and setback after setback, and says, "I'm worried." We wouldn't say, "Don't worry." Or the person on Social Security who relies on that completely for their food, their medical bills, their electricity, who said, "I'm worried that maybe one of these months the money is not going to be in the bank." We wouldn't say, "Don't worry." Confession, I said that to my mom, who is that person who relies on Social Security, worried about her worrying and what that was going to do to her health. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. It's true, I think anyone who's in a caring profession, pastors, counselors, forget all of their skills when it comes to their family. I don't know how each one of you is feeling right now. There's a lot of us in this room. We all might be in different places. Maybe you're worried and anxious. Maybe you're grieving. Maybe you're angry. Maybe you're content and okay. Maybe there are good things happening that you're happy and excited about. In terms of how I'm feeling, worried isn't really the word. I'm okay, but I feel a little muddled. I feel a little deflated, if I'm being honest. There's so much going on that's frankly horrifying, right? People, law enforcement showing up in masks and just whisking brown-skinned people off the streets, or setting off explosives in front of their house to send drones in, or picking up people who've lived here for decades in their front lawn while they're gardening. Trans folks being scapegoated every which way you look. Bombs dropped on Iran, maybe solidifying that country's aim in making a nuclear weapon. Women in emergency rooms not able to get life-saving care that they need. Programs defunded that are trying to address the high maternal mortality rates of African American women. Education defunded. Oh yeah, and there's the warming climate. All of these different things making us look in all of these different directions. What are we supposed to focus on when we care about every single thing that's happening? And what do we do about it all? I don't really know. What does fighting the good fight look like right now? Call this senator, add my name to this letter, show up in clergy attire at a press conference, hold this sign. All of those are good things, right? Continue to do those things, but they just feel inadequate. And I feel a little deflated. I find myself sort of waiting, watching for the movement or the person or the thing that's going to galvanize all of us into making real change. And at the same time, like, life is happening, right? We get sick, sometimes really sick. We're schlepping our kids off to summer camps. We're going to appointments. We're doing the dishes that are never done. The dog is looking at us with those sweet brown eyes, wanting a walk. All of these things, life happening, all of these things, and it feels like it can just sort of press in. And I find myself curling inward. Am I okay? Okay. Is Patrick okay? Is my son okay? Okay, we're okay. But what about soon? Like, we'll have food, right? And I'll have the healthcare I need to be able to move. And I think his school is going to be okay for a while. We have this instinct, all of us, especially in times of threat, for self-preservation, all right? I mean, it's normal. It's our job to look after ourselves and especially our families. We want good things. We want enough, and not just enough, but good things for ourselves, for our loved ones. We want to maintain what we've got, at least maintain it, because maybe soon we won't have enough. Here's Jesus saying, don't worry that someday there might not be enough. Do you believe that there will be enough always? Do I? Because right now, there's not enough for millions, billions of people. But I think to hear this sort of don't worry, clearly we have to look at what comes before that and then what comes after that in this text. So the story starts with Jesus in a crowd, and this young man is like, listen, I need you, Rabbi. I need you to give a ruling, to tell my older brother to give me what's mine, what's due to me, my inheritance. Jesus said, I'm not your arbiter or judge. Beware of greed. And then Jesus tells a parable about a rich person who brings an abundance from the land. And this person says to himself, look at all my fruits. Look at all my grains and goods. I can't even store all these. I have to tear down these storehouses and build huge barns. And very satisfied with himself, so look at all you have. You're going to be fine for years to come, so relax, eat, drink, be merry. And then in irony, God says, well, your time's up. So what did you do? Why did you stir up earthly treasures for yourselves, but not be rich toward God? And then Jesus turns not to that young man that asked the question, but to the disciples and said, do not worry. Do not worry what you will eat or what you will drink. Life is more than an abundance of possessions. Look at the ravens. They don't store or steep or reap, but yet they have the food they need. Look at the lilies of the fields. Not even the richest, wisest person was clothed like one of these. Doesn't God care for you even more than these? Do not be like the nations that crave after these things, seeking and seeking more and more and more. But seek after God's kingdom. Be rich toward God. Sell your possessions. Give your money. Then you will build something that lasts, something that won't fail you. Can we live in such a way to see everything in life as pure gift? The land, the soil, the water. Because in truth, there is actually enough for everybody. The earth isn't an earth of scarcity, but of abundance. Do we know that the fruits produced by our labor aren't our fruits, my fruits, your grains, my grains, your grains, your inheritance, my inheritance, but a gift to be shared? And do we believe it's possible to live in a world where to cut off a grandmother's electricity before a cold spell would be incomprehensible? Where every elder doesn't have to worry about if they're going to have food to eat or clothing to wear, because they wouldn't have to wonder. It would just be. Is that our vision? Because a very different vision of the world is trying to close in around us. It's trying to make us feel numb or confused, protective or small. We are the richest, poorest nation on earth. And if this budget reconciliation bill the Congress is considering right now passes, the rich are going to become richer and the poor are going to become poorer. This bill cuts food assistance for 11 million, Medicaid for over 11 million people, including people with disabilities, including elders. 60% of the people in nursing homes rely on Medicaid for their care. It cuts federal Pell Grants for low-income students to help them afford college. Debating right now, but the original version included provisions to sell off public lands to private investors. And it increases spending for ICE. Billions for ICE. The budget doesn't cut Social Security, not now. Did you know that 42% of people nearing retirement age have nothing saved? We are the richest, poorest nation on earth. A quarter of our children live in poverty. 36.8 million people below the poverty line, which isn't even talking about all the people who can't make ends meet, right? And I know I'm really just telling you things that you already know. We are the richest, poorest nation on earth. And this budget reconciliation bill would give $12,000 to the richest in the income bracket and take $1,600 from the lowest income bracket. I think about arguments that, the richest people who are going to be saving that money in taxes, well, they earned that money, right? That's just their money. They get to keep more of their money, and we're just going to stop giving charity to the poorest folks. Whose labor produced their profit? Whose land? Whose resources? God says it's all gift. All gift. God's land, God's resources, God's people. We live in an abundant, verdant world where there is enough for everyone, but not when people hoard it, not when people keep the best lands for themselves, not when CEOs and shareholders are swimming in profits and just giving drops to all the people who made it possible. Not when people mine and deforest and dump their profits, waste, in the land. Not when people keep on craving and striving for more and more and more. And this is the heart of the problem. The reality that so many in power are trying to obscure by scapegoating trans siblings and immigrants. The struggle isn't between left and right. I don't even think it's between woke and MAGA. I think the struggle is between a world where everybody has plenty and most don't have enough. No longer can we put our faith in progress, though a lot of progress has been made. No longer can we even put our faith in the common decency and civility of our leaders, though most people are very decent. No longer can we even put our faith in the rule of law, though for now, the dam seems to be holding. So what's left? We have a vision, we have a dream, we have a promise, if we're brave enough to believe it. A promise that when we seek the good of all people, all the time, that we will all have enough. maybe Jesus saying, don't worry, isn't so much bad pastoral care to people who are struggling, but a call to those of us who are comfortable. A call to be in solidarity with the millions and billions of people who are struggling. A call to listen, a call to share freely, a call to labor alongside them toward this vision. I don't think now is a time to be small, but to dream bigger, to double down on the dream. Every Sunday at the end of our services, we sing, "We are the ones we've been waiting for." This is the time. You are the people. We are the people that we've been waiting for.